Everybody to this demonstration. Shocking news. Donald Trump was seen at a baby oils man party. Please say it ain't so. But before we get started with this demonstration, let me read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Everything that you hear in this video that I call a demonstration is only the opinions of mine and others. Everything that you hear in this demonstration is allegedly. Salute to the replay gang. Salute to everybody that's watching from the clouds. Salute to all my troublemakers and my angels. Salute to you, him, and her. Salute to all of my new subscribers worldwide. Salute to the whole Rock Squad. Now, I get a whole lot of emails. I get a whole lot of information that is sent to me. Most of the times, I pass up on it. I just look at it, and then I'll be like, I'm not going to entertain this. Lately, I've got 5 different emails indicating Trump's appearance at a baby oil man party. So I said, let me take this time and do some investigation, because, I like to backtrack things. Just because I might not believe it, it don't necessarily mean that it ain't true. There are a lot of things that when I backtrack, I be like, damn, this person was telling the truth. So I backtracked because I want to know. Drop a one in the chat. And on the replay gang, drop a 1 if y'all really want to know whether or not Trump was at a baby oil party, baby oil man party. Let me salute the chat, y'all. Salute Jamie. Salute Positive Vibes. Salute Yvette. Salute Perk. Appreciate the membership. Salute y'all. Salute. Drop a 1 if y'all really want to know this. Because I'm thinking like it's not far-fetched. I mean, a lot of people was at baby oil man parties. And in fact, the freak-offs didn't start in the very beginning, okay? Gene Deal mentioned that the freak-offs really came when he was gone. He said during the time he was there, it may have been, one individual with baby oil man or, 2 individuals, something like that. But as far as an actual party, Gene Deal said that he never witnessed none of that. That never took place on his watch. So it could have been allegedly, Trump could have been at one of those baby oil man parties in the very beginning. Now, I will say this. When I found out that TD Flakes was at a baby oil man party, I gave TD Flakes the benefit of the doubt. I said, well, TD Flakes, I doubt if he was there on some, rah-rah stuff, or if, he was there, doing anything that wasn't godly. I said he probably was there, probably trying to save some souls. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I said, he probably was there, but selling, you know, trying to save some souls. But then as it played out, allegedly, TD Flakes was doing more. He was doing more than saving some souls, allegedly. He was ruining some souls, you know, now that's allegedly. So Trump, now, what was he doing there? If he was there, you know, man, this thing is so wow. It's just so wow, y'all. Like, freak off parties. And, you know, I still wonder, like, videotaping it. You had to know that this might come back to bite you in the ass. You know, videotaping it. Salute, Mel. Salute, Mel. Appreciate you for pulling up. Can I get everybody to throw up some prayer hands for Mel, as well as everybody that has been affected by this hurricane? I'm in North Carolina, so I was affected by it as well. But can we get some prayer hands for all of us? Man, it was just raining so hard, and just the rain was coming through my door. Are you all right up there, Jamie? Did you get hit with a lot of flooding, Jamie? Are you all right, Jamie? Throw up some prayer hands for Jamie, too. Throw up some prayer hands for all of us. Yeah, that was a serious flood. Okay, Positive Vibes said that she in South Carolina, we just got hit with the rain and wind. Okay, well, that's good. Glad that you all right. Glad that everybody is all right. But like I was saying, when it comes to the orange man, you know, what could he have been doing at the baby oil man's party? Like, this thing's serious, man. It's serious. Jamie says, we just got a lot of rain, but we're all safe. That's good, Jamie. Like, as much as I make fun of it, as much as I, you know, cut a fool, there are still victims. And we're going to be going to the newest victim that came out. It's like every day new victims are coming out. Do y'all think that it's a conspiracy against Baby Oil Man? What do y'all think? Do y'all think that somebody somewhere is trying to ruin Baby Oil Man? Okay, now this came across my email. The deal that Baby Oil Man had with Ciroc. That came across my email. He wanted more. Of course, they was trying to make it a slave deal, you know, and Baby Oil Man wasn't having it. He was like, nah, look, you know, this is what I want. This is what I expect. Now, I will say in his defense, we go through that all the time. We seen that with black celebrities all the time. Black people go through that all the time. As long as they can control you, then, you know, everything is good. But the second you stand up and you want to be treated equal and you want to be paid for what you're worth, that's when the problems come in. Now, I will say this in his defense. They've been knew this. We got to know that, because these charges and allegations, they go back, right? Salute, Zena. Salute, Zena. Let's just look at the Cassie situation, right? They've been knew this. They've been knew this. So I guess we'll have to look at the timestamp. I haven't paid attention to the timestamp as far as when did the deal with Ciroc, when did that turn left between Baby Oil Man and Ciroc? When did that turn left? Because if the raids happened after the Ciroc deal went left, then it's a strong possibility that that's what it's about. Now, if the deal that with Ciroc went left after the house raids and all that, then it's likely to be like, probably not. So I'm just curious to find out. Now, I do got a lot of things that I'm going to be discussing. Salute Leslie. Salute Leslie. Appreciate you for pulling up. So make sure y'all stay the whole demonstration, because I do have a lot that I have to give to you all, and it's going to take this whole demonstration. So make sure everybody hang around for the complete demonstration. All right, let's see where I want to start at. All right. All right. Let's start. Salute, Tony. Salute, Tony. Appreciate you for pulling up. So let's start with Baby Oil's man political influence and see if we can find out what's going on with him and Trump. I won't be paying attention to none of my troublemakers in the chat, so y'all can continue to roast me. I don't care how hard y'all roast me. I will not be paying attention to my troublemakers that's in the chat. Y'all know who y'all are. I will not pay attention to y'all on this demonstration.
Biggest names is behind bars in New York City, and his connections are being scrutinized more than ever.
So now we've seen plenty of pictures of Trump and Baby Oil Man. It's no secret. But let's see what we can find out.
Pop culture's biggest names is behind bars in New York City, and his connections are being scrutinized more than ever. Sean Diddy Combs wasn't just a leader in the music and business industries, he was well known in political circles as well. We're going to take a closer look at those relationships with the editor-in-chief for Mediaite.com, Aidan McLaughlin. Welcome.
So he was well known in the political arena as well. Let's check it out, y'all.
The Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Shout out to Law and Crime Sidebar.
So Sean Diddy Combs may be one of the top-selling musical artists of all time. I think we all know that. But his influence stretched far beyond just music. And now the spotlight is on who he threw his political support behind. Now we know that Combs was arrested last week in New York City. He was flown there in advance, apparently planning to turn himself in, but authorities arrested him at his Manhattan hotel, and after he was indicted on charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution, there was a bond hearing that was held, two in fact, and both judges decided that Combs was a danger if he was allowed out on bail, especially after allegations of witness tampering and bribery were made by the prosecution. So for now, Combs is in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. By the way, in the same part of the jail, we didn't know this, evidently, as convicted crypto fraudster Sam Bankman-Fried. Who would have thought that connection? But anyway, that's a separate topic. Okay, so now we want to talk about this. These connections between Combs and other high-profile people. They're being examined. Who knew what? Who may be a witness? Is the government talking with anyone? Is it possible that someone might be caught up in this? Could they face charges? These are questions that we have been asking. But right now, we're going to focus more specifically on Combs' political connections. All right, so to talk about all this, I want to bring in the editor-in-chief for Mediaite.com, Aidan McLaughlin. He is also the host of SiriusXM's show Press Club. The Diddy indictment, but the reaction and the news coverage of it's been everywhere. What has been your reaction to seeing what's happened?
Well, it's shocking. I mean, not just the nature of the allegations, but the extent of them. The fact that they have been going on allegedly for years, the breadth of the indictment, victim of Diddy's abuse.
Let me backtrack.
Rappers like Kid Cudi.
Let me backtrack. Because as he said, and what we all agreed, they been knew about Baby Oil Man's parties. They been knew about these accusations and charges that Baby Oil Man is being accused of. Salute Yvette. Salute Yvette. So, but let's listen, y'all.
They have been going on allegedly for years, the breadth of the indictment. Clearly there were people within the music industry that knew about this. Cassie, obviously, who was a victim of Diddy's abuse. Rappers like Kid Cudi, who allegedly had his car blown up by Diddy. But the general public didn't know about that. And I have been following Diddy's career for years. I was a fan of his. He started Bad Boy Records in 1994. My first CD I ever bought was when I was 10 years old, the 10th anniversary CD of Bad Boy Records. So I have always been a fan of his, and it was pretty shocking to hear about this stuff.
By the way, I have been running around a lot covering this Sean Combs story, going into stores, getting gas. I'm all over the place. And I have with me this free app that can get me cash back on what I buy. It's awesome. It's called Upside, and they're a sponsor of Sidebar. So easy to use. Upside.
So as he stated, this has been known in the music industry, many of people. I mean, so why wasn't Baby Oil Man, why didn't they go to law enforcement? Why didn't they try to stop it? Why did they participate? See, it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them that helped Baby Oil Man.
And we were expecting the charges might come, so there's a lot in that indictment that didn't surprise me because we've been covering it for a year. But here's the interesting thing: the connections, right? So we know that Combs is often spotted in society circles, from music industry events to fashion shows to
Appreciate that super chat, Nola. Appreciate that super chat, Nola.
Corporate meetups. But sometimes he is seen at political events, and Combs has shown public support for both Democratic and Republican candidates in the past. Support, though, has seemed to lean Democratic over the past few years, because back in the 90s, Sean Combs and not yet President of the United States yet, Donald Trump, they met. Both are from New York. They would apparently cross paths.
Do we see something? Now, this was in the 90s. Now, pictures can be worth 1,000 words. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that this is an innocent picture? We could see that the Orange Man is definitely speaking to Baby Oil Man. What's going on in this picture? What's going on in this picture? This is the Orange Man and Baby Oil Man.
As occasionally, Page 6 reported back in May that Trump was one of the celebrities featured in a video invitation to Combs' 29th birthday party in 1998.
So the Orange Man was invited to his party. So maybe the emails that I received, maybe there's some truth to it. The Orange Man was spotted at a baby oil man's party. What are y'all thoughts? Let me know.
Aiden wasn't born yet, so that's totally fine. Page 6, though, reported in that video that Trump referred to Combs as the legendary Puff Daddy. And Trump also referred to Combs as a good guy during an episode of the reality TV show The Apprentice. Combs appeared to have kind of soured, though, on Trump by 2020 when he voiced his support for Joe Biden in the 2020 election. So, were you surprised to go back and see that connection between Trump and Diddy?
No, I was not surprised because you got to remember that Donald Trump has been a fixture of the New York City social scene, of a certain kind of New York City social scene for decades. Anyone that's from New York grew up, their parents talking to them about Donald Trump, reading about Donald Trump in the tabloids, seeing him in appearances as himself on Sex and the City, Home Alone.
Tony says it's bigger than that. Tony says it's bigger than that.
And so he was this real fixture of New York City high life. And so was Diddy. As I said, Diddy started his record label in 1994. He's from Westchester. He was a real part of New York City in the 1990s and a real part of New York City wealth. And so I don't think it's any surprise that these are two people that spent a lot of time being seen out together at various events. And so, it wasn't particularly surprising. And obviously, there's a lot of photos of the two of them together. I think the most famous one that's been going around now is this photo of Diddy, who's being celebrated at an event at Mar-a-Lago, where there's a photo of him, Donald Trump, and Melania. And interestingly enough, that was an event thrown by Russell Simmons, who has his own problems to deal with, although he's fled to Bali and is dealing with them there.
Why did Russell Simmons throw the party? Russell Simmons was actually the one that threw the party. Why did Russell Simmons leave the country? Nola says, I will catch up tonight because you could drink for $20 until you fall out on Fridays. Salute Tyson. Salute Tyson. Bees Nader says, Kool-Aid man chugging away. How's your wallet looking? You got anything to talk about that actually matters? Tony says, y'all have to learn about geometria. You know I can't spell that word. Tony.
Why did he sour on him? Why didn't he, any idea why Combs didn't want to vote for Trump in 2020? Or?
That's a good question. I think there were a lot of people, a lot of rappers who were big fans of Donald Trump because he was this sort of epitome of wealth and flashiness, and he was this, self-made billionaire, so the lore went. And so there were a lot of people that really liked him and thought he was a funny character in New York. And by the time he ran for office in 2016, his politics had obviously shifted a great deal. He was a lot more socially conservative, a lot more extreme, some people would say. And so a lot of people that previously found him to be an entertaining character and a figure and a friend turned on him. Mm-hmm. Diddy is one of those people. Obviously, Diddy has always supported Democrats, as Trump did when they were friends. So I think that's probably what led to their falling out politically, at least.
And that brings me to the next point, because Combs had crossed paths with Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama at various campaign events and interviews, especially those meant to appeal to younger voters. He also attended Obama's inauguration ceremony in 2009. What can you tell us about Combs' connection with the Democratic camp, these very big Democratic figures?
Yeah, so he's long supported Democrats very publicly. He's not just a rapper or record producer who gives money behind the scenes to Democrats. He had this big Get Out the Vote campaign in 2004 in support of Democrats, and then throughout the years he's supported Democrats. He's appeared with Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, a number of prominent Democrats in the party. He's never, as far as I know, appeared with Kamala Harris, although she did thank him for hosting a COVID town hall in 2020. So yeah, he's always had these connections with Democratic politicians. As far as we know, though, he's never really had a friendship with any of them. Now, Trump actually said in an interview on The Apprentice that he considered Diddy to be a good friend. And what's interesting about that scene, because I went back and looked at it, is in that scene he's speaking with Aubrey O'Day, who was a member of Danity Kane, which is the band that Diddy created on his reality TV show. And Trump says that he loves Diddy, that he's a very good friend, and he says he's a good guy, right? And he tells Aubrey, and he says, he's a good guy, right? And asks her if he's a good guy. And she declines to comment. Now, we later find out, she reveals in a podcast a couple years later, that one of the reasons she was fired from Danity Kane is because she didn't want to do certain things that didn't have to do with being in the band. So I think that in terms of the friendship now, Trump being friends with someone like Diddy doesn't actually mean that they were friends, that they hung out together. It could just mean that he saw him at social events. But I think the relationship that Trump had with him was more social, whereas the relationship that someone like Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama had with him was a little bit more political, transactional.
And
I'm gonna come back. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna give a little brief commentary. Salute 80s, baby. Salute Coke Tan. Salute Denithia. So, Baby Oil Man knew how to play the game. I spoke on this on a previous demonstration as far as playing the game. It's all about playing the game. So we can see with Baby Oil Man, he was playing the game. He was affiliated. He had friends on both sides, Republicans, Democrat, even though he was more of the Democratic Party, but he still knew how to, brush shoulders with the Republicans. And it was interesting to hear him say that Baby Oil Man and the Orange Man relationship kind of went left when the Orange Man ran as Republican. So I guess it's to say that Baby Oil Man, being Democrat, didn't really want to have nothing to do with the Orange Man because he went the Republican Party way. Now, that's just allegedly. We only going by what a third party said. We only going by what somebody else said. So the question is, Tyson says Puffstein was a Democrat in public and a Republican behind the scenes. And that's something that I was going to ask. Because in my honest opinion, I think that they all, for the cameras, they all are one way. But behind closed doors, I just only said that, because I ain't want to, make it seem like, I was riding with you because, I do got friends that's on this side that's against that side. Salute my boo. Appreciate you for pulling up. We call that two-faced. We call that being fake. We call that being phony. But in this world, they call it political correct, being political correct. They call it the gray area. You in between black and white. So, being political correct doesn't mean that you are right about something. It just means you're BSing. So if he's Democrat in public, but then behind the scenes, he's Republican, that's phony. That's playing both sides. Now, this is just allegedly. This is only the opinions of mine and others. This is all allegedly. What I'm saying is not known to be facts. But these freak offs, the tapes are there. The tapes are there. And the last time I checked, those tapes are not only in the hands of the feds and Homeland Security, though only in the hands of the feds or Homeland Security, those tapes have been already mailed out. Baby Oil Man, to protect himself, and this is a strategic move. That's why I said he got a good attorney. He has an excellent attorney. And if you listen to the attorney is telling you this. The attorney is saying these tapes, he knows that. And he said this in the last interview. It's a conspiracy. He says that they're coming after my client, not because my client done anything wrong. They're coming after my client because of my client friendship, my client affiliations. And this is something that we all knew. We all spoke on this. That, and Suge Knight even made reference to this. The the Homeland Security wasn't so much of getting Baby Oil Man, but it was to get the tapes because it's some big sharks on them tapes that they don't want exposed. Shelton says, stop the spin. He's a full Democrat. Come on, just Google it. I'm only going off of the opinions of others that's in the chat. As I stated before, the best of my knowledge is Baby Oil Man is Democrat. However, somebody else said that Baby Oil Man is Democrat in public. However, behind the scenes, he's Republican. But it's all allegedly. That'll be something that y'all can scratch and rumble about. Okay? Salute Suntan. Salute Suntan. So, who's on the tapes? Who's on them tapes? That's what this whole case boils down to. All right? The indictment. There's 3 charges on the indictment: racketeering, sex trafficking, kidnapping. The indictment listed 1 victim. The victim is Cassie. All right? Now, when it comes to the racketeering is not based off of the Cassie situation. The charge that they got for the Cassie situation is kidnapping. They got that. The tape shows that he kidnapped her. He held her against her will. What proves the racketeering case? That's what I want everybody to focus on. What proves the racketeering case? All right? Let's go back. Salute Juanita. Salute Juanita. Now, that's what I want everybody to focus on for right now. The tape doesn't prove the racketeering. The tape only proves the kidnapping. Danithia says they on attack because of Baby Oil Man's community. Small pond with big fish. They trying to get possibly 5 for 1. That's a good point, Danithia.
This brings me to a larger point, and I have to be clear about this. There is absolutely nothing in the indictment or the letters from the government from last week that indicates any of these people are somehow connected to what Combs is accused of doing. They're not even mentioned in any of the lawsuits as being a part of this. But why are we seeing this? Mostly on X, I think, or maybe Reddit. People are trying to make connections. Oh, he knew this person. He knew this person. They're worried. They're worried now. They're sweating. Like, what is going on? Why are people making these connections between the Combs criminal allegations and these high-profile political figures?
Right, yeah.
Because that is who allegedly is on those tapes. Trust me, the sharks. See, the big fish, and I want y'all to hear me out. The big fish are the music execs. Those are the big fish. Let me rephrase. The big fish in all of this are the music execs. Those that's in the music industry. But the sharks are the political ones. Those that belong to the political parties. And they're not really too concerned about the big fish. Those that's in the music industry, the music execs, they're not too concerned about them. They are really concerned about the sharks. Those that are in the political arena. Mark my word when it plays out. Juanita says they captured Diddy to get to the elite.
I think you make a good point there. There is no evidence that there was any connection in terms of what Combs was doing that was potentially illegal. And I think if there were, we would probably know about it at this point, although I don't know. But yeah, it's become, on social media, it's become a bit of a game that partisans on both sides of the aisle love posting pictures of their opponents in photos with Diddy. So you'll see partisans on Trump's side that will post photos of Barack Obama with Diddy, and partisans on the left side of the aisle that will post the Diddy and Trump photos to sort of smear their opponents as sexual deviants. There's no evidence of any of that, of any connection there. Trump himself actually posted a photo that showed Diddy with Kamala Harris. Turned out that it was a photoshopped picture of Diddy and it was Kamala Harris and Montel Williams. It was a fake photo. They had put Diddy's face on it. He deleted that photo, and it's also sort of a bizarre point to make, given there are photos of Trump with Diddy as well. So yeah, it's a silly smear. It reminds me of the Epstein case when you had a lot of people on social media saying, "Oh, this goes all the way up to the top." You know, we're going to get the list is going to come out and it's going to show that all of these politicians and billionaires, have connections with Epstein that are criminal. That in a lot of cases didn't come into fruition.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Why did Baby Oil Man all of a sudden get arrested? Is it a conspiracy to tear down black men? Juanita says it was a lot of those politicians at his party. Duke 92 Baby says Diddy out of there. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I got some DMs yesterday that, was pretty much, Shank, I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy to tear down the black man. I think that's BS. I think it's BS. But there are a lot of y'all that think it's a conspiracy to tear down black successful men. Let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. Now, when you look at Baby Oil Man, as I said before, it's all about learning how to play the game. Danita says Baby Oil's time was just up. And could that have been? Allegedly, his protection has gotten old. They're no longer in power. So could it have been, it's just his time up. Look, they losing power, so they just got to throw somebody under the bus. Baby Oil Man just happens to be the closest person that they could throw under the bus. Duke says, I think it's to you only can make it so far. Ann says, salute, Ann. If the feds didn't test all that oil, they slipping. 80s Baby says, baby oil upset the elites. Ann says, because it could be drugs in liquid form. Sheldon laughed out loud. Is it a conspiracy? I mean, what do y'all think? Why has Jay-Z been so quiet? I know a lot of y'all want to know, why has Jigga been so quiet? Is it something that Jigga is hiding? Is it something that Jigga done? Where is he at? Ann says, where is Foxy Brown? See, the rabbit hole runs deep. I'm telling y'all. And y'all already know it. Y'all know the same things I know. The rabbit hole runs deep. The book that Kim Porter put out, all of this stuff is connected. But why all of a sudden now? Why all of a sudden now? We know that the Cassie allegations been out there. And if y'all notice, right after Baby Oil Man settled out of court with less than 24 hours, that's when it all went downhill. See, I'm asking y'all these questions because I want y'all to put on y'all thinking caps, because where I'm about to take y'all, I need for everybody to have on their thinking caps because it's deep. I got an email earlier today. I got a DM, an email earlier today, and it opened up my eyes. It opened up my eyes. And says, why was the mayor indicted? Is it behind Baby Oil Man? Now we on the same page, and the mayor has been indicted. Suntan says, yep, it all went down after that, Shank. It is right there. But why was the mayor indicted? Huh? Inquiring minds want to know. And they always say, every election time, every election, during the election, something major always comes out. Texas Repo says, why now? To divert attention away from Harris and compotence. And says, even though he took the key back, there's no take back. I gotta read that again. And says, even though he took the key back, there's no take backs. Take that, take that. Juanita says, baby oil man done a lot of dirt. He took the bait and got ahead of himself. And when you get big headed in that industry and they can control you no more, they take you down. That's facts. And we've been witnessing this for a long time. See, now this is when black and white comes to play. Like I said, there are a lot of issues that is about race. There are a lot of other issues race doesn't have nothing to do with it. But in this case, race has a lot to do with it. They're only going to allow a black man to reach so much success. They're only going to let a black man make it but so far. That's a fact. That's what we've been experiencing all of our time since we've been in America. And says we are all shades of brown, even white people, they beige. Juanita says facts. So, like I said, even though I don't believe it's a conspiracy to tear down black men, I don't believe that, but it could be possible. It could be true. And the reason why I don't think this is a conspiracy to tear down black men is because this black man tore himself down. I mean, it's just, you can't get around it. Why should he be held any different, or why should he be treated different from the Dame Dash? What is y'all quick to say about Dame Dash? Man, Dame Dash did it to herself. Dame Dash ego got in his way. Dame Dash is an asshole. Ain't that what y'all say about Dame Dash? Because Dame Dash fell? What do y'all say about Suge Knight? Suge Knight is a big idiot. Suge Knight had the whole world. Suge Knight dumb. Suge Knight stupid. Right? Didn't Dame Dash have to lay in his bed that he made? Didn't Suge Knight have to lay in his bed that he made? Didn't all those before them had to lay in the beds that they made? So why shouldn't Baby Oil Man be held responsible to lay in the bed that he made? This is his bed. Regardless of how you may dress it up. And says the alcohol people want the money back he won. Duke says, that's true, he traumatized Puff. And says, still can't believe Dame teeth popped out his mouth. That was so funny. You know it was funny even when Dame had to laugh about it. You know that's how it had to be funny. Dame was laughing about it. You know, Dame was showing he got a sense of humor. He was like, man, I thought that was the funniest shit ever. That's how you know when his teeth popped out. That's how you know it was funny. You know, but my thing is this, y'all. My thing is this. We have to be held accountable for what we do. You know, and this when it doesn't become a race thing. This when it doesn't become a white thing or a black thing. Anybody that does something wrong, they have to be held accountable. No way around it. Brian says, probably coming from the Dems, but they won't support your thoughts. What the F? So it's like, and I know, but Shank, the white people, they do it all the time and they get away with it. I get all of that. But does that make it right? Does that make it right for Baby Oil Man to not be held accountable? See, you always got to think about the victims. And says, we all in the same race of life. They try and make us hate one another. Exactly. So, for me, I can't give Baby Oil Man a pass because he's black. I can't. You notice how I ain't entertaining you, right? Positive vibes. I told your ass I'm not entertaining y'all today. That's why I ain't read your comments, positive vibes. But back to the demonstration. he got to be held accountable. And says he has to be held accountable for what he is guilty of, and he's innocent until proven guilty with evidence. And that's all I'm saying. Denithia says the feds are not done yet with the roundup. Juanita says hi. Yeah, they see them tapes, and I'm telling y'all, and I know y'all all know the same thing that I'm about to say. Those tapes got some politicians on them. Trust me. And do y'all know how bad that's going to look? It's one thing for the music execs to be on there. The music execs is the big fish. That's one thing. But to have politicians on there, that's going to be a bad stain on the American political world. Because people all over. And says for it to be a RICO enterprise, more arrests must happen. That's true. JFK, salute. JFK says TMU Dame Dash. So that's all I'm saying. You know, when it's Dame, man, Dame need to do this. Dame brought it on himself. Suge brought it on himself. So the same rules apply for Baby Oil Man. Denithia says it's like a takedown at the OK Corral. 80s Baby says the tapes also have pastors on them too. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? See those tapes? And that's why, if y'all notice, that's why the bigwigs started resigning. Because they know. They know. That's why the bigwigs started to resign. JFK says, I think I'm the only one Diddy didn't diddle. So if Trump is on these tapes,
I think it's it.
what happens? What happens if Trump is on these tapes? They're saying that Trump has been spotted at some of Baby Oil Man's parties. Kristen says some good BS. Please no profanity. Just say BS. Please no profanity in the chat. Just say BS. Just spell BS. Ann says nothing really they gonna say he a G. Pretty convenient. Eugene, Ish, if he was on any tape, it would have been released. Nah, you good. Just make sure y'all, for like the bull, just say BS. For the S word, just say Ish. Appreciate y'all.
Social media and the media should do a better job of trying to debunk this stuff.
Yeah, because it was like, oh, the tapes are going to come out. Wait to see who's on the tapes.
Remember the tapes?
But here's what's interesting. Well, I mean, with this now, and here's the thing. For me, looking at this, what I think is more significant is it goes to that idea, and it's a common theme put forward by prosecutors. It's also a common theme that you saw in the lawsuits, the power of Diddy, right? Look at his influence. Look at his power. Right. This is why a lot of these accusers didn't come forward initially. Think about his connections. That's what I take away from it more than anything. And when you're seeing these photos, and I forgot about the photos of him and Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, that's what hits to me. Yep. That power.
Well, that power, and also that there's been years of him being accused of being a bully and being terrifying. I mean, plenty of artists, Mace, who was a rapper in the 1990s, who was at the top of his game when he was signed to Diddy's label, left and became a pastor at the height of his career, and later said it's because he had to escape Diddy. He was terrified of him. So there have been years and years of allegations that Diddy is a bully and is terrifying and is physically abusive, and not to mention he has very powerful connections, as you say, and an enormous amount of money. And I think that's why, you haven't had these allegations come out until now, particularly when in 2017, when you had the Me Too movement, so much of this stuff had come out about people that were immensely powerful and that were able to keep their accusers silent for years. Harvey Weinstein is the best example of that. The fact that these allegations against Diddy didn't come out then and are only coming out now, I think is a testament to his power.
By the way, side note, Mace, amazing music. Miss it all the time. He was spectacular. We could do a whole show on that. I listen to it all the time. I'm a little older than you. I was listening to it. So it was amazing. But anyway, back to this. So it wasn't just, though, presidential campaigns that Combs had been associated with over the years, because he crossed paths with former New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg, current New York City Mayor Eric Adams. In fact, Adams gave Combs the key to the city last year.
Is that the reason? Is that the reason? What are y'all thoughts? Damn. What are y'all thoughts?
For his contributions to New York, but the key was returned when allegations surfaced about Combs' behind-the-scenes behavior. That was a moment, right?
Yeah, having to return a key to the city is never a distinction that I want.
Because he is New York City in a way. You mentioned Combs.
Really is New York City. Yeah, was really the face of it in terms of the music industry for years and years and years. And you know, with between the stuff he was doing in New York, in the social scene, the music scene, the white parties that he had out in the Hamptons. I mean, he really was a cultural touchstone in New York, and to have him fall like this is shocking.
Now, Combs has also been honored by various groups over the years for his philanthropic work. 2006, he was awarded a replica of the Liberty Bell by Mayor John Street of Philadelphia in honor, perhaps ironically, of his anti-violence efforts. 2012, Reverend Al Sharpton presented the Entertainment Award to Combs at the National Action Network's Triumph Awards in New York. But I want to go to this, because Combs worked with Rock the Vote in the early 2000s and even established his own voter education organization, Vote or Die, in 2004. Here's the thing, in our research for this episode, we found out something very interesting. I want to dig a little bit more into this more. In 2005, the Federal Election Commission announced that it was investigating a complaint made by Combs' involvement in the 2004 election. So Peter Flaherty, who was president of the National Legal and Policy Center, said that the way that Combs pushed to get people out to vote was in violation of both IRS and Federal Election Commission policies. So Citizen Change was the umbrella group over the Vote or Die campaign, and on its website, Citizen Change reportedly described itself as, quote, a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization with a mission to educate, motivate, empower millions of young Americans to access their power on November 2nd. But according to Flaherty, the problem came when Combs made his own political preference known. So Flaherty filed his complaint on November 3rd, 2005, and on the very first page, he states, quote, Sean Combs is the founder and CEO of Bad Boy Worldwide Entertainment Group, who undertook an illegal campaign during 2004 aimed at defeating President Bush in the presidential election of 2004. The complaint then cites a February 2004 Rolling Stone article about the 11th annual Rock the Vote Awards ceremony in Hollywood, and Combs is quoted as saying, we're going to get Bush's ass out of that office. The complaint also talks about the apparent luxury of the Vote or Die tour. There was the FEC complaint says, quote, an Associated Press article provides some clues as to the amounts of money spent by Citizen Change during the 2004 campaign. Tour transportation included a rented 52-seat 757 jet described as having one big first-class section and a motorcade of 5 SUVs and a party bus. Among the travelers was a petite Maltese named Sophie that resides in its own Louis Vuitton bag. Imagine that. Now, Flaherty claims that this was all a gigantic PR stunt, not only for the Democratic Party, but for Bad Boy World Entertainment. And the complaint says, according to a Citizen Change press release, Citizen Change sought to create a sexy, fashionable t-shirt line with the Vote or Die slogan. Head designers at the Sean John clothing label will join with those at Echo, Fat Farm, Rockaware to create a line featuring distinct, hip interpretations of the campaign's message. So the commission does an investigation. They take a close look at the complaint, as well as the response from Citizen Change, and the Kerry Edwards campaign insisted it did not violate campaign rules. In the end, the commission wasn't able to find any evidence to substantiate Flaherty's claims, and they said in their ruling, all of the press releases and public statements issued by Citizen Change encouraged voter participation without expressly advocating the election of any particular federal candidate. That was a moment in time as well, right?
Wow. Wow. I'm not going to hold y'all that much longer. Salute, Shano. We have another demonstration at 6:30 on the on the Still Swinging podcast. That's going to be another Switching Lanes sector content creator. So make sure everybody pull up at 6:30 on the Still Swinging podcast for that demonstration. We will be giving y'all the latest update in the Sonia Massey case. So make sure everybody pull back up on the Still Swinging podcast. podcast at 6:30. I'll take a few comments and then we'll get out of here. The sky's your cut, yeah. What does his shirt say? Vote or yes? See, my two troublemakers. See, but you know what? I'm doing fine by not entertaining y'all. See, that's what happens when you come for me. That's what happens. So anybody out there that think about joining the troublemakers, go ahead and join the troublemakers and watch me never acknowledge your comments. All right? I want to say thank you all. Salute, and I'll see y'all on the Still Swinging Podcast channel at 6:30. If you don't got it, if you're not subscribed, just go to my community wall and click on the link and subscribe. Salute Denithia. Denithia is an angel. 80s baby is an angel. Ann is an angel. See else, whatever my angel. Shano is an angel. Kristen is an angel. See, these are all angels. See? Salute to my angels. And I'll see everybody. One Cup, Two Bad says, let's all report for misinformation. Trump is so hated, praying for his safety. Salute everybody, and I'll see y'all at 6:30.